Our bodies as women go through a lot, and sometimes that can get hard to handle. Firstly, there's not a lot of genuine, accurate information present about women's bodies online or otherwise. And secondly, a lot of the information that is present can often be misleading and inaccurate. In fact, a lot of the tips that I'm sharing with you guys in this video are things that I personally learned very, very late in life. And I don't want that to be you. So here are 24 feminine hygiene tips that every girl needs to know. 1. Don't be afraid to shampoo frequently, especially if you are physically active. Now, workouts are great for our bodies and our mind and our soul, everything. But an unintended side effect of being physically active or just being a person in general who goes out a lot, who's out and about a lot, is that you sweat a lot. And that sweat oftentimes on your scalp gets mixed with sebum, and that can end up clogging your pores, clogging your hair follicles, can cause issues like fungal infections, dandruff, etc., all of that jazz. And there are so many people that will just tell you to go shampoo free or not wash your scalp as frequently because that will strip your hair of natural oil. Guys, that is very subjective advice. And in the modern day, especially in the modern environments that we are living in, that is not always the most conducive advice, right? So a lot of the people who have scalp issues are a result of keeping their scalp unclean. And if you are going to the gym or if you are in an environment where there's a lot of people, the chances of you catching an infection are very, very high. I once, back in the day, caught a fungal infection in my scalp when I was in school, and it was so bloody hard to get rid of. Ever since then, I have made it a point to wash my hair frequently. So I go to the gym every single day, and I know that it's very difficult to wash your hair every day, especially if you have long hair, but I do make it a point to wash it every other day. There are other ways to nourish your scalp, which is oiling, which is massaging, and if you do that once a week or twice a week, you are golden. You don't need to worry about shampoos stripping away oil. 2. Clean your hair brushes every week. I cannot say this enough, and most people do not do this, but you need to clean your hair brushes frequently. Your hairbrushes are like sponges. So whenever you brush your hair, everything that's on your scalp, including, dead skin, hair particles, dust particles, any product that you might have, any sort of buildup that you might have, is getting mixed into your hairbrush, and it is just getting stored there. And if you're not washing it, again, the same issue as with not washing your scalp, you are more prone to infections, you're more prone to issues with your scalp remaining dirty. Because everything, like once you've washed your hair, if you're combing your hair back or brushing your hair back with dirty hairbrushes, you're putting all of that dirt back onto your scalp, and that is not what you want to do. And yes, you don't have to wash it every single day, but once a week is ideal. Please go ahead and do that. This is your sign to go wash your hairbrushes if you've not done so already. And all it takes is like a little bit of shampoo, an old toothbrush, and 5 minutes of your time. Dip your hairbrush in shampoo mixed water, let it sit there for a couple of minutes, then take an old toothbrush, just remove all of the hair, all of the gunk, all of the dirt, and wash it with clean water, and you're done. Number 3, learn how to condition your hair right. I was 28 when I learned that you need to condition your hair every time you shampoo, and 2, there is a correct way of conditioning your hair. Golden rule: never apply conditioner onto your scalp unless the product specifically says so. And the right way to do this is to first start by squeezing all of the water out of your hair after you've washed it. Make sure you don't tie it, or make sure you don't scrunch your hair when you are squeezing water out of it. And you can even use a towel, just to soak up all of that excess water. This is because if you apply conditioner on hair that already has like a lot of water, as soon as you apply conditioner, most of it will just get washed away with the water that is dripping down. And that's not what you want. After you've squeezed all of that excess water, take your conditioner. I'm using the Advanced Smoothing Heat Hair Spa Mask from Bblunt, which is enriched with keratin, hyaluronic acid, and their signature shine tonic. Now, this is more like a hair mask, so I use this about once a week instead of my regular conditioner. Now, ideally, after you've applied your conditioner, you need to leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes with your hair up. and not hanging, because if you leave your conditioner applied with your hair hanging on your back, you are going to get back knee. Believe me, I have been there. So I then started using a hair clip to put my hair up after I applied my conditioner, but that led to two things. One, it led to hair breakage because, well, the hair was wet and more prone to breakage, obviously. And two, it actually led to a lot of that conditioner seeping into the back of my scalp. Not ideal situation. So then I started using a shower cap. And the best part about this Bblunt hair mask is that it comes with a self-heating hair cap. So after I've applied it, I just put on the cap, massage a little and leave it on for 5 minutes while I focus on my oral care. The gentle heating mechanism enhances the absorption into the hair shaft. After about 5 minutes, I will rinse off my conditioner first under the shower and then under running tap water. I will just put all my hair like this in front and run it under tap water to wash off any residue of conditioner that might be there. You should ideally wash off your conditioner for twice as long as you have washed off your shampoo for. Just a golden rule of thumb. And then after drying, I get salon finish, smooth, shiny and frizz-free hair even in the monsoons. So if you want to try this out, use my code Adete 2024 to get 20% off bblunt.com. And you can also find the product on Amazon, Nykaa and Flipkart. Floss once every 2 days. Now, I'm somebody who takes super good care of their teeth. I will brush every night, I will brush every morning, I will do my mouthwash, I will ensure that I rinse my mouth with salted water after every meal. All of that jazz, right? But I recently went to the dentist and they removed a lot of plaque from my teeth in places where there are little gaps. Now, these gaps are something that you are probably born with, that are genetic, etc., all of that jazz. Point is that food gets lodged in places in your teeth where your toothbrush can't reach. You know what can? Floss. And I never used to floss earlier, but my dentist was like, even if you floss every 2 days, the plaque buildup in your teeth is going to be a lot less. The chances of gingivitis, which is like this gum disease that happens when plaque gets underneath the gum, is going to be a lot less. So if you are not flossing, my dear ladies, this is your sign to start doing that. And if you've tried flossing and you think that, oh my God, it's difficult or it's just hard to do, try doing it not in front of a mirror, just like when you're sitting on the couch or something like that. And that is because you are intuitively just running a thread like a toothpick through your teeth. It's much easier to do as opposed to when you stand in front of a mirror and do it, because the reverse image sometimes makes coordination a lot more difficult. Learn how to brush correctly. We have been brushing our teeth since we were kids, but I have seen so many people just not know how to brush their teeth correctly. A lot of the people just do like this and that leads to their bristles becoming all bent out of shape, etc. And it's not really cleaning their teeth, right? So when you are brushing, the golden rule of thumb is to hold your toothbrush at a 45-degree angle and to gently do this motion so that you're just removing gunk off of your teeth. The bristles are getting in between your teeth and actually removing the food particles, and you are not just, doing a very hard polish on just the top enamel. Secondly, you should never do this motion, because when you do this, you are basically making your gums recede. They're going up and up and they're exposing more of your tooth, which can then lead to problems related to sensitivity, which means when you take a sip of cold water or when you breathe through your mouth, suddenly you feel this shocking pain on your teeth. And that happens because most of the times people are not brushing their teeth correctly. Next tip, scrape your tongue. I think tongue cleaners were such a massive part of like our dada dadi's generation, even my mom's generation, but our generation, people just don't take that step. And I'm always surprised by it. And ask any dentist, they will tell you that your tongue holds millions of bacteria, and often if that's bad bacterial buildup, it can lead to bad breath, it can lead to other oral hygiene issues. The simplest solution is just to scrape your tongue. And you can do it right when you wake up in the morning, you can do it before bed. Ideally, you should do it both the times that you're brushing your teeth. It just takes 2 minutes, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, because when you first start scraping your tongue and you've never done this before, you might gag a little bit, but once you keep doing it for a week, 10 days, you will just go ahead, get used to it very, very quickly. Ask any dentist and they will tell you that there are millions of bacteria on your tongue and they produce something called volatile sulfur compounds that are responsible for bad breath. And if left unchecked, they are also responsible for other oral hygiene issues. Just 100 rupees ka tongue scraper can actually rid you of all of these problems. So why won't you want to go ahead and do that. And the final tip in your oral care routine is to try oil pulling. Now, I know that this is not everybody's cup of tea, but whenever I do oil pulling, I find that my mouth feels a lot more fresh, my breath is a lot fresher as well, and my just like mouth in general feels a lot cleaner. Now, the science on whether oil pulling is effective or not is kind of mixed. There are some studies that claim it works really well. There are some others that claim that it doesn't do anything at all. I personally think it's a personal preference, and in Ayurveda, it's an age-old tradition. So I think it's definitely worth giving a try. For some people, it's proven to be very, very beneficial. It's helped them get rid of gingivitis, which is that gum disease. It has helped them, reverse their plaque buildup and a lot of those other benefits. So it's definitely worth giving a try to. You can start once a week and do it for just 5 minutes and see if you feel any difference. If you do, it might be a good habit to inculcate in your oral care routine. Coming to tip number 8, which is related to shaving your body, if you are one of those girls who shave instead of wax, because I know I'm that girly, is to use conditioner instead of shaving foam or shaving cream when you are shaving your legs, because conditioner actually has these proteins, these amino acids that actually make your skin a lot smoother and the hair on your legs and your arms a lot smoother. If you have acne, however, on any part of your body, then I would advise against using conditioner, because that can just exacerbate the issue, make it worse, and that's not what you want to do. But if you don't, using conditioner instead of like shaving foam or like body wash or face wash or whatever is actually a lot more beneficial, because it keeps your skin smooth. So one, it prevents like cuts and nicks and burns and all of those things, and two, because your skin is smoother and softer, the shave happens to be a lot closer. And I absolutely love the feel of my skin when I shave after applying conditioner on. And then once you're of course done with shaving, you have to wash it off. You can't just leave it on your body. So then go ahead, go in with your body wash or soap, whatever you're using. But this little tip has actually helped me get perfectly smooth shaves, and it also prevents like strawberry legs, because I have never had that problem. I've been shaving my legs and my arms and my underarms for close to 15 years now, and I have never faced the issue of having ingrown hair or strawberry legs or any of those things. So I think this is a tip that is quite useful. Tip number 9, double cleanse your body. Now, there is this whole trend of double cleansing your face, and I absolutely stand by it, because when you are washing, sometimes we are so absent-minded that when we are just washing stuff once, it does not get rid of all of the stuff that is on our skin, right? So I always advocate for double cleansing your face, and similarly, I always advocate for double cleansing your body. What does this mean? Once you've washed your body with body wash, whatever that you're using, go back in. You can use the same product like your body wash or your soap, or you can use like a scrub or something else if you want more of an exfoliation. Just make sure to wash your body twice, and this ensures that all of the dead skin cells, if there's any dirt, debris, bacteria, blah 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 on your skin, is all getting washed off, and you're absolutely spick and span, squeaky clean. I absolutely love that feeling. And when you start double cleansing, you will notice a lot of the problems like acne. If you have acne in other parts of your body, if you have like dark neck here, unless it's because of like genetic issues or diabetes or insulin resistance, if you have dark necks or like darkness in your folds, that might be because of dirt buildup. That will go right away once you start double cleansing your body. And make sure that you wash your body after you're done washing your hair. Don't wash your body first and then your hair, because when you wash your hair, you'll apply conditioner, and that conditioner will then run down your back and your body and all of those places, and it will cause issues like acne, and that's not what you want. So make sure you wash your body last after you're done cleaning all of your other parts, right? Tip number 10, do not forget to clean behind your ears and under your folds. So under your elbows, behind your knees, under your bust, at the back of your neck. All of these are important places that most people just miss when you're in a hurry to shower. You will just quickly splash on water, put soap on the visible areas, and then you're done. That's not how cleaning works. You are sweating a lot, especially in your folds, you are sweating so much, and you want to avoid that turning into dirt-related skin issues. You want to avoid that turning into fungal infections or any other sort of infection. So clean. It's that simple. You shower every day, just make sure you go, inside your folds and behind your ears. Tip number 11, skip the friggin' loofahs. Instead of that, try using a washcloth or an exfoliating glove. Now, loofahs are breeding grounds of bacteria. They are absolutely not good to use, especially those plastic ones that come in those little flower poof balls. I know they look pretty, but they're not a good investment for your skin hygiene. The combination of your dead skin cells along with the moisture continuously trapped in that loofah in your bathroom is just like a breeding ground for so many different bacteria. Just thinking about it is giving me shudders, and I don't want you to go through that. The easiest replacement is to just use like a hand towel as a washcloth, because it gives the same exfoliating effect, but it's much easier to clean. You can just put it in your washing machine after you're done using. If you don't want that, if you want things to be a little bit fancier, you can use an exfoliating glove, but you want to follow the same policy with that as well. Just go ahead. Once you're done washing your body, put it in the washing machine or just scrub and wash it off with soap and water and hang it to dry. And that way you're ensuring that the dead skin that you're washing off once is not being fed on by bacteria and coming back to bite you in the ass later on. Tip number 12, ladies, clean your makeup brushes and your other grooming tools at least once a week. Ideally after every use, but at least once a week. And now I am notorious for not doing this, and I for the longest time was the person who would just leave my makeup brushes as is. But there are 2 tips that I started following. I gotten this makeup brush holder and washer from Amazon, just costs about 300 rupees. And this has like that scrubbing pad where you can wash your brushes, and it also has like a holder, so when you hang it, your brushes are hanging upside down and drying out much quicker. The second thing that I do is I keep my makeup brushes covered. So once I've applied the makeup, I keep them covered in this Lazy Susan. So this basically ensures that they're not attracting more dust and like more unwanted particles that can cause bacterial buildup on my skin and cause acne. All right, those are the 2 tips that I always follow. And ladies, for all your other grooming products, if you're using like personal massagers or vibrators or whatever it is, make sure you wash them after every use. I'm so surprised by so many people who don't do this. They are going near and inside your private parts and you want to keep them bacteria free. Ideally wash them before you use them and after you use them so that you can avoid weird situations down there. 13, if you want to smell good, layer different products with similar fragrances together. What does this mean? You get body washes, your body lotions and your deos and your perfumes in similar fragrance notes. So when you wash your body, you're using a similar fragrance. On top of that, when you are applying body lotion, that's a similar fragrance, and then when you put your perfume on top, it is also a similar fragrance. And what that does is basically helps your perfume last a lot longer, and you continue smelling like that fragrance that you like all day long. It is honestly one of the best hacks. The other thing that you can do is just when you're applying your perfume, especially like perfume concentrates, apply Vaseline to your pulse points, so which is like your wrist areas, a little bit around your neck here, and then spray on your perfume, and that also helps it last so much longer. Stop using feminine hygiene products. All of these washes that claim to be like intimate washes or washes for women, absolute crap, absolute bullshit. They don't do a thing. Plus, they are almost always heavily fragranced, which is not a good thing for your vaginal health. Your private parts, your lady bits are self-cleaning. You do not need fancy products to make yourself smell good down there, right? So go ahead, just wash yourself with water. The outside part, which is the lips of your vagina, which is called vulva, wash them with water or like soap and water at max, and an unscented soap is best, obviously, and just let it be. Your vagina is self-cleaning. You don't need to go in there and clean it. Now, talking about cleaning yourself down there, you have to understand how to clean your lady bits correctly, properly. A lot of women, what they do is that shower thing, bidet that we have in the toilets, they will use that to douche themselves, which is like put that water inside their vaginal canal, and that essentially disrupts your vaginal flora and fauna. It disrupts the balance of good bacteria in your vagina, and that can lead to so many health issues like candidiasis, I think that's what it's called, yeast infections, other sort of infections that can make you more prone to any sort of infection down there. So that is absolutely not what you want to do. Again, like I said, the correct way of washing your lady parts is just to use mild soap and water, and just on the outside, never inside. So instead of waxing or instead of shaving it off completely, try just trimming it. Your pubic hair is actually very, very important in preventing infections from reaching your urinary tract or your vagina. They are there for a reason. And I know that a lot of people don't like their pubic hair and they get them waxed, and a lot of people get bikini waxes. I have never been brave enough to try that. I think it's going to be extremely painful, and I don't have that high of a pain tolerance at all. So that's not something that I'm going to do. I did consider laser once, but then I found out that laser is also quite painful. So that also went out the window. And then of course I stuck to shaving, but what I realized is that every time I shaved completely down there, it led me to getting UTIs. It basically made me more prone to getting UTIs. And this pattern is something that I realized after 2-3 different shaves, and I was like, oh my god, is this happening because of that? Then I consulted with my gynec and she confirmed my fears, and she said, Baba, just trim your pubic hair. I know that it can get messy or long sometimes. Just trimming it is absolutely fine. Make sure you don't go all out and remove all traces of pubic hair. They are preventing you from getting a lot of these nasty infections. Tip number 17, which again a lot of people don't follow, and I used to not follow for the longest time, is to wash your underwear every single day and to switch it out regularly, multiple times in a day if needed, if you are sweating a lot, right? So basically, when you wear your underwear, all of the discharge that happens in your vagina gets, put into the cotton, the fabric of your underwear. So what happens when you're not washing it for a week, 10 days, whatever, you're just letting it sit there, that bodily fluid mixed with moisture and dirt in the environment is again becoming a breeding ground for different organisms and bacteria, which is increasing your chances of infection. And that is not what you guys want to do. The easiest way to avoid this is, like, once you're done showering, take a mild detergent, wash your underwear using it, wash it off thoroughly so that soap is not trapped there and that is not causing like rashes or skin allergies or anything of that sort. And you are done, as simple as that. And make sure you dry your underwear out in the sun, because the sun also helps kill a lot of those, nasty bacteria and organisms. So take care of your lady parts, girls. Go commando at night, which means is not wearing an underwear while you are sleeping. Like I told you guys before in my last Healthy Girls video, try avoiding wearing a bra while you're sleeping. The same thing goes for your underwear. You just need to let your lady parts breathe. Make sure that you're wearing like a clean pajama or a clean pair of shorts or whatever it is that you wear at night. But avoiding your underwear ensures that everything in this nether region gets to breathe and gets to have that airflow, gets to not have all of that moisture trapped, and that is just very, very beneficial for you guys in the long term, and just helps keep things down there more hygienic and more safe. Tip number 19, learn how to prevent yeast infections. Now, most women will get a yeast infection once or twice in their lifetime. I just got diagnosed with one a couple of months ago. And my doctor said that one of the easiest ways to prevent your yeast infections is to ensure that your gut health is in check and that you're taking probiotics regularly, because they help create the right condition, like the right amount of good bacteria in your vaginal canal to ensure that you're not getting those infections in the first place. So most people who will get yeast infections will be either a result of, bad hygiene, or 2, a result of low immunity, or 3, a result of both. And you want to avoid both of them. So I've spoken about the hygiene tips already, but how do you boost your immunity? How do you ensure that your vaginal health stays in check? Cranberry supplements are actually known to be very, very helpful with this. You get cranberry capsules. I would not suggest drinking cranberry juice because you would require to drink a lot of it, and 2, it has a lot of sugar, so that's not ideal. But cranberry extract capsules are there, and you can consume those for 1 month, once a year, and that just helps ensure that your health down there stays on track. And secondly, of course, introducing probiotic rich food. So whether it's eating dahi or chaach, or whether it's kimchi or anything that's probiotic in nature that will help your gut bacteria and your vaginal bacteria, that's great to have, and they will just in general help keep your health down there sorted. Tip number 20, always carry a toilet sanitizer spray in your bag. I cannot tell you how much of a lifesaver this thing has been. I always have a P-Safe sanitizer spray in my bag. So whenever I am going out, whenever I have to use a public toilet, I will spray it down first. Even then, I don't sit, even though Dr. Cuterus says that it's okay to sit after you've like cleaned the toilet seat and wiped it down. It's just like a fear or a pet peeve of mine. But yes, having a toilet sanitizer spray, so I spray the toilet seat. I also spray the flush, which is what most people touch when they flush. And then I wipe it down with a tissue. I also always carry like a spare box of tissues in my bag. I do not like to use the toilet paper in public restrooms. I think I'm just slightly over paranoid, but it has helped me prevent UTIs from public restrooms. So I am grateful for my habits, and I think these tips can be very helpful. They don't take like more than 2 minutes. And they are just preventative measures, because getting a UTI and then having to take antibiotics for it is just nasty, and I don't recommend it. So the safest way to navigate that is to prevent UTIs from happening in the first place, and the best way to do that is to use your sanitizer sprays and to use tissues. Tip number 21, schedule a visit to your gynecologist at least once a year. This is like a preventative measure. So you get checked down there. You also should get an internal exam, get blood tests every year that need to be done. And I have said this in multiple different videos. Just taking preventative measures, just visiting your gynecologist once a year can help you with early detection of stuff if there is stuff to be detected. It can just help you prevent a lot of mishaps from happening, and that's always a good thing. To stay on top of your health is a good thing. So if you don't have a gynae, find one and then schedule a visit with her, and do it every year. Very important. And if you've not gotten the HPV vaccine yet, please go ahead and get it. Tip number 22, and this is not something that a lot of people will like to hear, but that is to track your poop. The status of your bowel movement can actually tell you a lot about your health. If there's something wrong there, then you know that there's something wrong in your gut and you need to get checked out. And if you're wondering how you can track your poop, how do you know what healthy poop looks like and what unhealthy poop looks like, I am going to share a link below for the Bristol stool chart. You can just refer to it and check whether your poop matches the status on those charts for healthy poops. Tip number 23 is to not hold your bowel movements or your pee, because doing that or holding any of these movements for very long can put undue pressure on your bladder, on your rectum, and that can lead to serious health issues later on in life. Holding your pee in for very long can definitely lead to UTIs, and that is not something that you want. And I know this because I have a friend who used to hold her pee in school, because, well, in convent schools you have to take permission to go to the toilet, and even then your teachers don't allow it, and that is just the shittiest thing in the world. I wish somebody could train the teachers and tell them that, you know, not allowing kids to go to the washroom is just the worst thing that you can do to them. And a friend of mine used to get repeated UTIs because of holding her pee in and not going to the washroom when she wanted to. And we only got to know about it when, you know, multiple UTIs were detected, and she had to be on medication like for a year and a half, whatever, because it got so severe. Oftentimes it can also lead to kidney stones, and that's not favorable either. So just don't hold your natural urges. Go to the washroom when you have to. It's as simple as that. If you're in school or college, show this to your teachers and tell them, bro, we gotta go to the washroom. It's important. And tip number 24, take care of your gut health. A lot of research suggests that your gut is like your second brain, and you don't want your second brain to be unhealthy. Your gut health basically is a marker of your health in various different aspects. And like I mentioned before, your gut health is also directly linked to your vaginal health. So you really want to pay attention and make sure that you're taking care of your gut at all costs. And how do you do that? By feeding it good, nutritious food, by feeding it probiotic food that helps keep that gut flora in check. So eating your veggies, eating your fruits, ensuring that you eat probiotic rich foods, all of those things are super important. That was it for the 24 feminine hygiene tips that every girl should know. Let me know if I missed something in this video, if you think something else should have been included. I'm also going to make another video on menstrual health tips, so if you're going to suggest it, please know that I'm working on it already. And I hope, like always, that you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because I can see that 70% of you are not subscribed. So go ahead, subscribe, and check out this video next, because YouTube says that you are going to love it.